Boom, we are pre-recorded today, ladies and gentlemen. We hope you're having a wonderful Thursday morning, well, at least here in Panama. We're headed back to Costa Rica today. I want to start off by thanking you all. We had another 40 people take advantage of the grandfathered price package of $20 per month for our membership, so thank you for that. We are now at $30 a month for everyone else for the next 250 people, so that spot will probably fill up almost as quickly. So sign up if you're interested. We've had a lot of great feedback from the members already for Telegram channel. We're putting out a new PDF once every 2 weeks. We've got the newsletter coming up. We've got the great community that's supportive. It's amazing to see. We've had great comments come in from you. Some of you made what I think one of the specific quotes is, I made more than my year's membership price in the first 20 minutes in the den, but that was mostly luck of timing for that guy's entry and exit at that particular point. But anyways, we're going to dive into the charts, take a look at Bitcoin, and see where we're headed for the rest of the day. So I want to actually give a shout out right from the get-go to our monthly media partner, NRG, where they went with us to the orphanage last month and the turtle conservation effort the month before. They actually have an anniversary coming up. So if you join their Discord channel on Rain, they're giving away 1,000 NRG tokens. So NRG is currently sitting around $1.60. So the event will kick off on April 14th. We will leave the links for that down below, so join their Discord channel, as well as give this little this link a like and a retweet and everything like that. NRG, you can find them at energy.world as well. They've got a great staking platform and really high ROIs for that staking. We're grateful to be long-term partners or media partners with this company and friends with the owners, or the CEO, I guess different than an owner. Anyways, keep that in mind. All those links will be down below. Let's dive into the charts. So this morning we actually had the first long-term short and sell signal come in on Bitcoin at around $5,200. Now I had exited my position at 5,250 and re-entered at 5,000. And then yesterday I had exited around 5,250 again, just because that was the same area of exhaustion I had hit before. Now, yesterday, while I was out, I've been visiting the lawyers. We're working on paperwork to make sure all the I's are dotted and T's are crossed for the newsletter and all that stuff, because obviously none of this is financial advice, ladies and gentlemen. This is all not advice. But the point here, we dropped down from 5,200, and now we get to roll through the time frames and look at that same sentiment come through. Again, on the 3-hour chart, we saw the exact same thing. We saw the short signal come in, reconnect. Something went wrong here, it's saying. Hopefully this works. Oh no, I don't know what's going on here. Okay. Hopefully the internet's still working for this video. But anyways, as we can see, even on the on the 3-hour, we started to break down. And then I just started to go through the time frames here. And as you can see, we did the same thing. Here on the 2-hour, we had an even earlier breakdown at 5,200, 5,920. And then I just start scrolling through and looking for here. Okay, so on the 1-hour, we've actually broken down. Our support was at 5,100, and then we have another negative push coming here at the breakdown. So really, I'm looking at $4,800 at the 1-hour chart on Bitcoin as the next real level of support and resistance. Now again, as we scroll in, we can just keep looking at our breakthroughs and or breakouts near the cloud. Here again on the 45-minute, we are below that area and actually below the secondary areas of support right here, which is between 5,100 and 5,135. And the next area of support on the 45-minute is down at 4,950. So again, I usually zoom in and out of these charts here to find as much data as I can. Again, we broke down and the exit position even on the 15-minute was around 5,180, 5,190, although you had the extension exit actually right here at around 5,400. So we're actually working on some custom Arcane Bear indicators. For those of you that are wondering why my screen looks so different, we're going to be doing basically a beginner's guide to TradingView. This is my favorite platform to trade on. Currently, I've changed the colors to my favorite of the Lakers, purple and gold. So purple is royalty going up and gold coming down. I don't know, I like these colors. You can actually choose whatever colors you want by going over here, going to the settings, and you can play around with the size of the lines and all this fun stuff. So anyways, and this is actually a really cool EMA indicator as well. This is called the Super Guppy. I like some of the flows of the colors. It makes it more attractive for my attention, and anytime you can give something more attention, the more likely you're going to do better and be better at that particular space. So Litecoin has dropped down into the $78 range. Again, once we broke down below the $90, that was as good as the opposite of the extension. So when we broke above the extension, we said there's a possibility for $100. So for anyone in the Bear Den notes that had signed up, you can find all that information. We do keep it stored. We've been taking a look at a bunch of the tokens, but since Bitcoin broke down, it's brought most of everything with it. And that's important to remember. We've seen this pattern over and over again. I wrote this down for the private Bear members in the notes as well, that as soon as I see Bitcoin capitulate, I'm exiting all my trades. So I exited and closed out all my trades late last night around 52.50. I had a Raven trade that I was sitting in around 12.20. I sold most of it at 13 to 1400. I rebought back in again around 12.20, and then I closed that trade out again this morning at a slight loss. Mostly because I have travel today, there's stuff I want to do. I would rather take a small loss than come back and find a bigger loss later. It's easy to recover the losses if I'm not emotional. If you're trying to recover an emotional loss, you're generally going to fail, because that's one of the worst things to do. So all the private Bear members, keep your eyes out for the first trading PDF that we're going to come out with. The newsletter is going to be out for the first, just for the end of April. So at the end of every month, you'll get the newsletter within a 5-day period of the end of the month, essentially. Again, we had over 300 people sign up into the Grandfather Den. A bunch of you took the very last day as a recommendation that you wanted it. We had another bunch of people sign up for the entire year. So I'm very, very grateful for that. Anyone that had trouble signing up and then the Arcane Bear admins helped you, again, remember to thank your Arcane Bear administrators. They're what make this community so powerful. I'm not around enough to deal with all the customer support and all the questions, so without them, none of this would really work. So again, shout out to all the Arcane Bear family members that make this work. So Litecoin, if we want to go out here and do the same thing, we're looking at the hourly and breakout and breakdown potentials. Now, what's nice is that as we start to look with a more, I guess, or a less emotional eye, it's easier to see where it is we want to be playing from. Now, I have a little bit of a drawing thing problem here. I don't know why my other charts are not showing up. Anyways, the point of this is, let's see, do I get it? What if I go back? Did I lose my extensions? Huh. Anyways, let's go into Litecoin. We'll take a really quick look at Litecoin and Ethereum. But Litecoin broke down below the $90 area. That was our basically the area of support and resistance that had the most interest to us. Again, the Litecoin, once it broke below that $90 area, it started to fall and capitulate quite quickly. For some reason, my internet isn't going super fast. So I'm basically going to leave it at that for Litecoin. I'm going to be updating the private Den notes members while I'm at the airport. So for anyone that's interested and already signed up, that's where the notes will be. Again, we are now $30 a month for the next 250 people, and I'm assuming that that will fill up quite quickly with all of the great feedback we have getting from everyone else that's been part of the new private Bear family members. So Ethereum, again, too, it's actually dropping to key levels of its support, although it has not broke through it the same way Litecoin did. I think keeping a close eye here for the next little while is going to become an extremely important gesture of, I'm going to call it faith. You never want to trade with hope, so what we do is we keep as much time invested into paying attention to what's going on. So even on the hourly here on Litecoin, we've actually broken down below the cloud, and we've hit our first area of big support, which is around 159. The next one below that is around 153. If you go to the daily chart, we are actually still quite in the positive for Ethereum. We broke out above 167, jumped up to all the way to 190, and we're actually just breaking down below that. So if we close on the daily below the 166 mark, this is not a very good sign for Ethereum. It means we'll likely come back down to test the $130 area. Again, this is why I exited all of my positions. Again, I'm going to update the notes for Raven too, so for anyone that's interested in those are in the private dens, because I just don't have enough time to do the videos in the morning, more than the 10 minutes, so I do the rest of the work throughout the notable parts of the day. But anyways, very interesting to see. I would look for a bounce around 150 more specifically for Ethereum. But again, we're looking to see what happens on the breakdown and if it actually breaks through those previous clouds that we have. Whereas Litecoin, on the other hand, Litecoin is actually still sitting well above its long entry point, at least to Bitcoin. If you go to US dollar, it's probably a slightly different story. Yeah, okay, so here even with the US dollar, actually Litecoin is looking quite strong still. That's a nice, at least on the daily. And then what I like to do is I scroll back in through the charts to see where the breaks start to occur. So last night on the 4 hour, the break occurred at $88 right here. It broke through our cloud and then started to descend, and we're looking for a $56 bounce essentially on the 4 hour. So again, I scroll through. take a look at where the break is, take a look where the supports are, and then kind of move from there. It's just an easier way to try to figure out what's going on in the market. Again, my internet is loading a little slowly at the morning, at this particular morning time, so I can't see some of my clouds when they load. There we go. So even on the 45-minute, we've broken through the cloud, and there's not a whole lot holding us back up. So I'm all in TUSD since 52.50 on Bitcoin last night. We're just going to keep it at that. Thank you to all the Bear family. Thank you to all the people that signed up in the private Bear Den. You guys have made a huge difference. That means there's going to be, again, we've already produced an article on how to do your taxes. So if you go to arcanebear.com, you can find out who we use as our accountants and our consultants, and you can sign up to use our tax because it's pretty much that time of year. And we're just going to keep doing that. We're going to produce as much content for the private Bear members, but also now the free people get a bunch of extra content too, because it's basically the overflow of all that we're doing in the background. So thank you guys all for this. It's going to make a huge difference for everybody, not just in the Bear family, but those of you that are more importantly in the private Bear Den. Thank you all for joining us. Remember to smash that thumbs up button 2019 style if you enjoyed this content. If you're new to the Bear family, please do subscribe. I guess once we fill up the next 250 people, which only took 5 days last time, we're going to raise the price again, and then from there we'll probably just keep it set. We're very, very grateful for all the original members that jumped in so quickly, signed up for the entire years. You guys are amazing. And for those of you that have just been generally so supportive of the entire building process and being patient with us during this as well. I know people often forget. Oh, sad news. I want one last thing. I might make a video about this later. Julian Assange was just arrested. This is probably the saddest thing I've seen all day. Here you have Edward Snowden coming out to talk about it. This is one of the most prolific journalists and journalistic integral parts of our community, and we are throwing them under the bus. This is very dangerous and very scary. My heart goes out to Julian Assange and the rest of his family. I hope that we can fix this, because people like Julian Assange should be exalted for the press work that they do, not arrested and caged. They are the brilliant minds of our day, and we need to treat them as such. Anyways, it's 2 with the Arcane Bear. I'm signing off with a little bit of solace in my heart now, remembering that part. I hope you guys have a wonderful day. We'll see you on the other side.